Welcome back to another edition of Music Monday from the podcast Nurture the Mind. I am your host, Cole Poots, and we have yet again another music reaction. And guys, I am trying to switch it up a little bit today. I feel like when it comes to YouTube and the content that I post on YouTube, mainly doing music reactions. I've been doing music reactions since 2021, and really the music content, like talking about music in general, I think probably started back in 2020. I mean, that was the first year that I was doing my solo podcasts and I was doing my solo YouTube channel. And I feel like what I provide to people is a lot of value in the sense that, like, I always have a really deep take on the music. Like, after I listen to a song and get through it and I'm doing, the reaction and the review, there's a lot of soul that comes out of me. Like, I pour a lot of soul into what I do. And I would say one of the very few complaints that I've gotten over the years, but has been repetitious at times, is just the audio quality. And like I've told you guys before, like, have no idea what I'm doing, don't know how to enhance these things. Well, I finally took it upon myself to just run some things through ChatGPT, and it gave me some suggestions on how to fix that. And so we're going to try and put those things into action. This little microphone that I have right here, I don't know how great it is. I don't know how great the quality is going to be of the audio, but that's at least going to pick me up while I am speaking. And then after this is all done, and I go home and I'm able to edit, I'm actually going to get a different software that I can edit on instead of doing a really simple iMovie, which is what I've been using on my Mac since 2020 when I started this whole thing. So that will be different. I'll have to learn that territory, but I am up for the challenge. I am up for the game. And then we've got some headphones right here that are plugged into my computer, so I can listen to the music a little bit more intimately, maybe catch more of the sounds of the instrumental, of the lyrics of what the artist or the band is actually saying. Like, I appreciate you guys. I don't think there's been a few people that, the advice that they would solicit was, it's like, dude, like, shut the fuck up. But a lot of people are very respectful and saying, like, hey, like, I really like your content. What would boost it is if, you fixed the audio, you fixed the editing. And so I told you guys to bear with me. We were gonna get it figured out. It's been a while, but I feel like I just have an opportunity right now in life to, like, really tackle this and to make this adjustment, because I am no longer working as a personal trainer. Today is Sunday, April. It is the 12th. So 2 days ago, Friday the 10th, April 10th, was my last day at Anytime Fitness as a personal trainer, off to different endeavors. I won't go too deep into that, but I have a little bit of time right now from my previous job before I start my next job. Today's Sunday. I have tomorrow off. I have to do one thing for the job on Tuesday, but it's not going to take all day. And then Wednesday is like the first official day on site. But even then, like, I'm not going to be there all day. It's just probably going to be maybe a few hours in the morning. So, yeah, I got a little bit of free time here. And I was like, let's just make this adjustment. Let's see what happens. And so today, we're going to do this on the spot. I really don't know what music reaction I want to do. I always, like, go through YouTube and I go to the music section and I just see, like, what's been released here recently, and I'm like, "Whoa, what would be a good reaction? What would be something that I'm actually interested in?" And so there were a few options. I actually just refreshed the page, so it might look a little bit different now. One that I'm really curious to check out is Ella Langley, because not only is she very attractive, she's a babe. I have listened to a little bit of her stuff, and I really do like her music. Here recently, me and my mom, because my mom is a really big fan of Ella Langley, like, we've been talking about her. She just went on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and, like, I absolutely love Theo Vaughn. and she just dropped an album on Friday, so I'm thinking about checking out her stuff. But also Bill Murray, he dropped an album, and I really liked the song that he did with A Day to Remember. I'm already forgetting what the name was. We did the reaction here on the channel. I really liked that song, so I'm thinking about checking out some of his stuff off of his new album. Let me take a look real quick. What do we have here? Impatient, Ren, and Chris Webby Down the Road. They did a collab with each other? What? My mom showed me Choosing Texas. I watched that music video, listened to that song. Okay, we got our song. So today we're going to be reacting to Ella Langley, the song Dandelion. I know it was a single off of her newest album that came out on the 10th, and this song has been around for a second. Like, I believe it's on my playlist, but I have not played it. I have not played it all the way through. So this is going to give me a great opportunity to listen to it fully. Let's attach this to my shirt, even though I don't plan to do a lot of talking when the music is going on. I mean, I try to talk after the song is over.
Tried leaving where I come from, but always gonna go back. I tried sipping on the champagne, but it's always gonna be Jack. There's things I can't change, like how I was raised, the Bible in my blood and the Bama in my veins. Ain't a pink bouquet in the flower store. I'm okay if I'm a little more wasn't made for a fancy crystal vase, a mason jar, and old blue jeans. From my roots to my boots, I'll always be a dandelion, born to live free, riding on the breeze on a summer night, tucked back in the weeds. Guess that's just me in a bed of red roses. I'm the one growing up on the wilder side. If you're tired of thorns, I'm a little more dandelion. Whoa, dandelion. Been a little overlooked all my life, but if you know where to look, it sounds like you might like a dandelion, born to live free, riding on a breeze on a summer night, tucked back in the weeds. Guess that's just me in a bed of red roses. I'm the one growing up on the wilder side. So if you're tired of thorns, I'm a little more whoa, dandelion. Oh, dandelion. Dandelion. Been a little overlooked, yeah, all my life. Well,
right. There it is. Ella Langley, Dandelion, the official visualizer. So basically, like a music video. I gotta say, after first listen, which there's probably a bunch that I missed, I say this every single time, but I will say after first listen that that's a damn good song, dude. I mean, everything about it, right? Like the way that it sounds, the instrumental is great. And then you layer in her vocals and like how she sounds, and she has such an interesting voice. And like, when I was watching a little bit of the podcast that she did with Theo Vaughn, it's like when she's not singing, her voice sounds different. I don't want to say deep, but it's just a little bit like rough and rugged, and it has that twang to it. Obviously, with her being from the South, I think she said she's from Alabama. Like, there's just some grit to it. And, there were times during the podcast where Theo Vaughn had made her laugh. And when you hear her laugh, it's like, oh my God, it's like the cutest thing. And I know that, a lot of guys drool over this girl. My mom was telling me that she has a fan section of guys like on social media, and they post themselves singing to her songs, and they're called Ella's Fellas. And I hope that I don't turn into one of those. I think a lot of guys are going to gawk at her just because of her looks, just because of her beauty. But even if we get past that, off of this song, from what I've heard from Ella, the bits and pieces that I've heard, like, I think she's a phenomenal musician. And it makes sense because, like my mom was saying, like, she's at a point right now where she is just blowing up. Like, her career is fucking soaring right now. But like, that was just a great song, man. Just giving you chills, making the hair on the arms and the body stand up. Like, I don't know why. I'm not sure if you guys caught it, like seeing it through the video, but like at one point I was like, dude, like, am I gonna cry? It's like making me emotional or something. But this is the reason that I love country, is the storytelling and how descriptive it can be. Like, she just had so many great lines like throughout this entire track, and I might have to bring up the lyrics just to read through them, because like I said, I'm going to forget about them when I'm like trying to talk about it. Oh, the lyrics are here on YouTube. I'll probably read off of them a little bit, but like, she just had these lyrics that were just like, oh my God, so descriptive. And just when you listen to it and when you like really think about it or reread it, you're like, oh my God, dude, that's a punchline. When we talk about, because I'm not big into country. I know a little bit about country. I'm fairly new. I don't listen to a lot of country, but I have more of an extensive background in hip hop and rap. Like, that's a lot of what I've listened to probably since like middle school up until this point. That was a huge influence for me in my formative years of growing up. And they have this thing in rap and hip hop: if you have like a heavy line, there's like a line that hits, they call it bars. Like a dude's got bars for days. Well, it's like in the country context, Ella Langley has bars, dude. She said things in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? So let's read through this a little bit just to pour in a little bit more context. Like, the other thing that I'll say is like her music video on the surface is like really simplistic, because she's basically sitting in one setting. I think at like some point she's like on a couch or something, but then she's in the back of a truck, in the bed of a truck, but she's got all of these plants and flowers that are around her, and she is painting the picture, the image, the visual that she is the dandelion amongst all these things. And with the dandelion, very simple, very simplistic, and easy to overlook. But that's what makes it just even more rare, because it might be something that you drive by and you don't really think about. there's more that she said and more that I thought about as she was singing. So hopefully we'll get into it of the description of the lyrics. So with the lyrics, it starts out by saying, I tried leaving where I came from, but I'm always going to go back. I tried sipping on the champagne, but it's always going to be Jack. I'm assuming it's a big part of her upbringing, getting older, and when she started drinking a lot of Jack down in the South. And so it's like, hey, no matter what I do, I try other drinks. It's like, dude, it's always going to be Jack. I'm always going to come home to Jack. There's things I can't change, like how I was raised, the Bible in my blood. This is the line that hit me right here. Not the Bible in my blood, but when she said in the Bama in my veins, which I actually thought she said in the song, in the Bama in my fangs. Maybe I heard that wrong. It says on here on YouTube that she said veins, but I could have swore that she said fangs. And I was like, Bama in my fangs, dude. Not like she is a vampire and has fangs, but in her fucking teeth. What the fuck is it called? Is it capillaries? I may be getting that wrong, but it's like Bama in my fangs, like to the root, to the core of me, I will always represent Alabama. If I were to ever leave this state, which I've basically grown up in my entire life, like I would always think of Iowa. Like I would always think of Iowa and I would always call Iowa home because that's where I'm from. Ain't a pink bouquet in the flower store. I'm okay if I'm a little more dandelion, born to live free, riding on a breeze on a summer night, tucked back in the weeds. Guess that's just me. In a bed of roses, I'm the one growing up on the water or the wilder side. So if you're tired of thorns, I'm a little more dandelion, basically saying, man, you're getting pricked, you're getting poked by these thorns. It seems like it's like a dating context or like, falling in love because my mom, again, I'm getting a lot of information from my mom, but her saying that Ella Langley is single right now and she's had a lot of issues, like a lot of us single people in the current dating market. So hard to navigate those waters at this current moment in time in 2026, where a lot of the dating that occurs is on the dating apps, and it's like hard to find a person. It's hard to find somebody that actually lasts and somebody that actually sticks, somebody that actually cares, somebody that actually gives a fuck. So she's saying, so if you're tired of the thorns, I'm a little bit more, pick the dandelion. And it's like this is that storytelling, like in country, and like just the way that they construct and set up the song. It's like they're building a whole concept, a whole idea around one word, dandelion. But it's like, yes, it's one word, but it pours into waterfalls of so much more information and context once you really dig into the lyrics. And you're like, wow, dude, like you picked one word, but you're really painting a picture. No stranger to a dirt road or a country muddy riverbank. If you're picking me, you ought to know I wasn't made for fancy crystal vase, a mason jar, and old blue jeans. From my roots to my boots, I'll always be a dandelion. And I feel like in this song too, like as I was listening to it, there's moments of like a juxtaposition. I feel like, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe the juxtaposition didn't happen in those set of lyrics. Like maybe it's later on, but I feel like there was like times where it was like brilliant too. Not that she was contradicting herself, but it was just like a juxtaposition. The way that she was setting up her lyrics, how like an earlier set of lyrics could have one meaning or whatever, and then like later on it could be something like totally separate. Dandelion, born to live free, riding on a breeze on a summer night, tucked back in the weeds. Guess that's just me. In a bed of roses, I'm the one growing. Oh wait, did I already read this? Up on the wilder side. So if you're tired of thorns, I'm a little bit more dandelion. Been a little overlooked all my life, but if you know where to look, then it sounds like and it sounds like you might like a Dandelion. Born to live free, riding on a breeze on a summer night, tucked back in the weeds. Guess that's just me in a bed of roses. I'm the one growing up on the wilder side. So if you're tired of thorns, I'm a little bit more dandelion. Maybe I was wrong on the juxtaposition, but it just felt like at some point there was a little bit of a juxtaposition. But goddamn, dude, that's a really good song, and I thank everybody out there for making the recommendation to put on the headphones because it's like, yes, I've been doing the music reactions for a long time, with no headphones, and like, for sure, like you catch things, and you can catch a lot if you're like extremely, extremely focused. But as I have said so many times on the channel in a first listen, music, lyrics, instrumental, and then on top of that, if you're doing a music video and then you have no headphones, so then there could be the outside noise, or you're a little bit more like listening to your thoughts, like what's going on in your head as you're listening to the music. It can get really chaotic and there's a lot that you can miss. And that was why, like, a lot of times, I haven't done it in a while, but a lot of times on reactions, like I would go through and I would listen to it twice. But I feel like even just there, and I can't say that these headphones are like spectacular or magnificent. I mean, they're Sony, but it just like it cuts off a little bit more of the outside world and the distractions. And then obviously, I imagine for the viewer, it's a little bit better for the viewer, right? Because now I'm being more intentional and I'm getting wrapped up a little bit more, which is obviously better for the reaction, makes it a little bit more authentic because I'm getting a little bit more. So now I just got to figure out like the editing piece, but I will say like that was a great song. That was a beautiful song. It sounded magnificent, dude. Like I said earlier, she's got a beautiful voice, not only when she's singing, but it's really interesting to hear her talk. And now I'm kind of like, well, I want to listen to the rest of the album that she just dropped and see what it's all about. Not a big country person, but there's some really good country artists out there, and I'm starting to feel like Ella Langley is one of them. I could also say another one that I really like is Hardy. I've listened to a little bit of Morgan Wallen and like his stuff. I don't ever think it's going to be a genre that I get too deep into per se. It's just not one of my favorites, but like it's grown on me over the years as I've gotten older. And like I said, like I just really appreciate the storytelling and how much depth there can be in the lyrics to a country song. Like it's a whole concept. It's a whole idea. Like I said with her, and I'm being really repetitive at this point, but like she took the word dandelion and she built an entire song off of it, an entire concept. And then you keep going back and you keep referring to that word. And it's just like, it puts layers upon layers on a word. So it's like layers on top of really simplicity because it's one word. Yeah, it just makes me geek out as somebody that really enjoys music and enjoys music of all different types, shapes, tastes, forms. So, yeah, I don't know if I really have much else to say. I just think that that was a great song. I think, like, artistically, she did a fantastic job. And, that tells me that probably all of her music is like that. And this newest album that just came out, a few days ago, like, probably kicks fucking ass. That's one song off of the entire album. And I don't know how many songs are on the album, but the whole album's probably pretty good. My mom and my dad later this year in the summer are going to Missouri, I believe, and they're gonna see Ella Langley in concert. I'm like, man, like I should probably get myself a ticket and go. It's just like you could grow up on a certain genre, a certain type of music, but as a music like person, like a music nerd, it's like, dude, I appreciate all different types of music. And like even if I'm not huge in the country, if I find something that's good in country, I'm gonna point that out and be like, yo, like that's fucking good right there. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, yeah, I like rap, I like hip hop, I like rock, I like pop punk, I like heavy metal, but some of that shit can be bad. Like, this is good, man. What I just listened to is real music, real art, real creativity, real passion, real talent from her, man. So, shit, dude, give Ella Langley her flowers and her credit, even though she's very new into her career. I'm sure she's been doing it for a while, but it's just now blowing up and like having the success. But like, I feel like she kind of deserves it, man. Like, she's good. Like, she's fucking really good from what I've heard so far. But, anyways, guys, that's it. That is the reaction. That is the review. As always, if you came over here, if you enjoyed it, you enjoyed the content, I ask that you do 4 things. You don't have to do all 4, but please do one of the 4 things, especially if you got value out of it, if it was not a waste of your time, if it was educational, if it was inspiring, if it made you laugh, whatever, dude. If it was not a waste of your time, number 1, please like the video. Number 2, subscribe to the channel. Number 3, comment in the comment section below. And number 4, share the message via social media or with another person in real life, via word of mouth. Basically, I come on here, I try to give it my all. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm trying to improve the quality for you guys. And so basically, for doing that, I just want you guys, it's called a value exchange. If I do you guys a solid, which I have, then you guys do me a solid and help share the content in order for the podcast and the YouTube channel to grow. It's really that simple, guys. I love you guys so much. Thanks for coming over here. It's been a few weeks since I've done a music reaction, so this was a really good reintroduction to doing them. I've also been doing photography on not my personal page on Instagram, but basically my business page on Instagram, which I actually call Nurture the Mind Pod. And I haven't really posted much about my podcast or my YouTube channel on that page. It's really turned into photography here recently. So if you guys are interested in that, you should also go check that out. But guys, that's all I have. I gotta hit a leg workout today. Leg workout is like my least favorite, but I know I gotta hit it because I can't be a skinny bitch downstairs and be fucking jacked upstairs. You gotta be balanced and well rounded out. So until next time, guys, have a great weekend. Have a great week ahead of you, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.